There's a line in the front bottom song Wolfman: nothing matters, the importance of nothing. Nothing matters, the importance of nothing. Nothing matters, the importance of nothing. That's what you taught me when I wasn't even listening. And I just love this line for some pretty weird reasons. Because basically, the entire song is like coming to terms with sort of a relationship of, vague clarification. There's no real definition of what the relationship is, but it's kind of shown to be not just falling apart, but imploding in on itself. Like, it is causing its own destruction, basically, which, the worst relationships tend to do. And I just like this line because it's got that kind of juxtaposition to it that the narrator or the singer is remembering this line, remembering that this person taught them this thing, when realistically, if he was remembering it and living by that motto, then he wouldn't, have the cause to bring this back to his mind, because it wouldn't matter. Nothing matters. He wouldn't want to remember it if he believes the mantra. So it kind of creates like this oxymoron, really, where you're standing by a phrase that, by standing by it, you devalue the phrase. It's kind of like Socrates is the one thing I know is that I know nothing, bringing in the fact that, well, if he knows that he knows nothing, he knows at least one thing, which is nothing he knows. So you get this not paradoxical, but as I've said, oxymoronistic type situation where just by standing by your motto, you go against your motto, you cancel it out, you're remembering what shouldn't have the conditions to be remembered. Because even then, when he says, just what you taught me when I wasn't even listening, well, how's he going to know the lesson given to him by whoever the song is about when he wasn't even listening? Clearly, he must have been listening to remember it, to have heard it, and to recall it. Obviously, he must have been listening. So furthermore, it cancels itself out, and just that so complex system of sort of justifying yourself, then completely devaluing yourself, is why I love this argument, this piece in this song. But also it's the meaning behind it. The front bottoms are like some kind of folk punk band leaning towards emo at times, so nihilist themes are not exactly far gone from them, but still, even this isn't nihilistic, because it's not so much saying that nothing matters, it's saying you've been preached that. So you can't sit there and say Wolfman is a nihilistic piece, because it only preaches nihilism. It doesn't exude nihilism. It's like saying a man, like a Jewish man, stood talking about Christ, can still talk about Christ without being a Christian. We kind of get into these places where the one argument we're making is the polar opposite of that argument. But it's not the other side of the spectrum. It's not like we're jumping from agreeing with ourselves to disagreeing with ourselves. It's like we're going from our point to slightly beyond our point. That's like that one point in the world where if you walk a few steps, you cross all of the time zones and jump like 24 hours instantaneously. It's just like that. That little gap between a point made and a meaning meant. We just can't really justify what we devalue. And I love this line because it sticks out in for those reasons and some other, just because it's so catchy in the song. That's why and it repeats quite a few times. So yes, listen to Wolfman by the Front Bottoms. I really do recommend that, and they have a lot of good songs, especially in their first 2 albums. I haven't really checked out their newer music, but I heard one of them and wasn't too fond, but it's still good. They're a bit different now, but their old music still bangs, so listen to that. And yeah, think about lyrics when you listen to songs and think about what they mean, because you might just be taking the exact opposite definition from something. You might not even be taking anything from something, and it's kind of funny with this example, because taking it in, you end up with something sort of so reversingly compatible that you end up with nothing, but it's not the same type of nothing as doing sort of nothing. Basically, it's sort of that failure and laziness may be the same thing, but they're achieved by different ways type nothing.